connect. Wassa 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 wassa. Bit connect. Alright, I think we might be okay now. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I supposed to know everyone would be so noisy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow, the old windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear, the murder weapon. Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear updated in the court record. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to disagree this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that a possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Alright, we gotta continue testimony. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? The only person I saw into the studio go before them was Will Powers. Are you absolutely sure? Quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 o'clock? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy. Old windbag sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? How do you know that? Eh? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts. The only person I saw go to the studio before them was Will Powers. I want to look at my evidence. Pierced through the chest by a spear. Well, what about Studio 2?
Objection!
No. That's not it. If they had, I would have seen them.
Hold it! Objection!
Yep, 2:30 p.m.
Hold it!
I gotta press everything.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Objection!
Well, it looks like I have to present some sort of contradictory evidence. I just need to figure out what it is. Okay, let's see here. Time of death. 10:15 at 2:30 p.m. Cause pierced through the chest by a giant spear. Guide map to Global Studios. Card key for studio employees. Grants entry into Studio 1. He's dragging one leg. I can check the photo. Murder weapon. You know what? I'm just gonna present the photo again. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. The photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Whew, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Hi, Psycho Wolf! Were you straight up watching at school? You shouldn't be watching at school, Psycho Wolf. I started the stream way earlier today because I took a sick day off from work. I just wasn't feeling well at all. So here I am streaming because I got nothing better to do but to try and stay hydrated, drink water, drink fluids, and kind of flush the cold out of my system. Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Oh, okay. I got you, Psycho Wolf. You're clear then. Sorry about that. You're a good student. There you go. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. Me? Watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes. That's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? Ahem. I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help. Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. New testimony! Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Ms. Oldbag, this is the first time I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. The other person. Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Ms. Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Huh, a fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. one was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So in the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him. Uh-oh. We're red again. I'm gonna go use the bathroom in the meantime. While my bit rate tanks. My bitrate has gotten back to normal. Cool. Alright. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. The court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Well, here we go. 5-minute recess. 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes. Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest. So who was the steel samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another that day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else who could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers who could have committed murder? Well, I think we know where we're going with this one. The only option that makes sense to me is the security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The steel samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Ms. Oldbag to you. Ms. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing that steel samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. Oh! What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers the suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Ms. Oldbag's actions that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? That boy! The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? The boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it be nice to kids and be mean to your elders day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could have not committed this murder? Probably the costume. Probably the photo. Or it could be the murder weapon. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it's the murder weapon. Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. The very spear is shown here in this photo. How could that boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy, what was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Hey! How about that? Wait a second. I'm not going to sit here while you just run off barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking. Oh great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. This old bag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there was something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh, you mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. Well, you get another testimony. It's not quite done just yet. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they just told me to pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Ms. Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head had fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Yes, Your Honor. We have learned that there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more about the witness, Ms. Oldbeck. More information about these other people we have just been told of. Oh, Edgeworth is pissed. And now my bitrate tanks again. No! Man, this blows. Ugh. Is it back to normal again? Oh, here we go again. All right. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is adjourned. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Oh, really, it's nothing. Oh, or should I? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now is my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. And I can pull off the legitimate sniff because my nose has some sniffing going on. It's not good. Dun, 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 dun. October 18th. Wright and Company Law Offices. Whew, what a day. There was no time for relaxing, Nick. Say, you think WP's got a chance? I guess that really depends on the people we found out about in today's trial. The director and producer? Yeah, them. Well, what are we doing here then? Let's get to the studios. Alright, we're going to the studio. October 18th, 2:16 p.m. Global Studios, main gate. No one's here. Right, now that they have Ms. Oldbeck in custody, I guess they don't have anyone to replace her. Hey, in the guard station. Look, she left her donuts. Yeah, it sure is. It sure is a rush, that's for sure. What? I wasn't going to eat them. Well, yeah, I guess this would be good to investigate further. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. It looks like it's been turned off for the day. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. Huh. Anything at the gate? The main entrance to the studios. They probably have a police officer on patrol out there. Anything else? An overhead map of the studios. From right here is the employee area. To the left is the actual film studios. Is there anything else for me to investigate? Right there? The security guard station. Miss Oldbag must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on that desk right there. Alright. I guess outside Studio 1. October 18th. Studio 1 entrance. Hey Nick, it looks like Detective Gumshoe isn't here today. You're right. He's probably up to his neck in paperwork after the commotion at today's trial. So Nick, remember that Studio 2 we heard about at the trial today? It was down that path with the fallen tree, right? Yeah, I think that's what they said. Maybe the director and the rest of them are there today. Now's our chance, Nick. Let's check it out. October 18th, Studio 2 entrance. This is Studio 2? I thought so. It doesn't really look like much of a studio, does it? No, it does not. Hey, there's a trailer over there. It looks pretty sturdy for a movie set trailer. Are we sure this is a studio? Nick, let's go inside. You think it's okay? Oh well, it's locked. Aw, shucks. On closer inspection, this trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is part of some temporary film set. These look like materials for making a movie set. They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be a junkyard. A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it'd run fine. Well, let's go for a drive. Sure, if I had a license. Nick, you don't have a driver's license? But look, I have this. Why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick? An incinerator. Apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. Looks like 2 people ate here. There's nothing left on the plates. So they ate T-bone steaks too. What is it with steaks around here? Hey, there's always room for steak. But something just seems out of place. What? I don't know. It just feels odd. There's a big 2 painted here. Probably because this is Studio 2. Probably. Though it doesn't look anything like a studio. No, no, no. My stream still seems to be running fine, even though I disconnected. Anyway. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. That one is bent right here. Right at the bottom area. And that door is locked, huh? Well, it doesn't seem like there's anything we can do with this right now, so I'll just go back. Alright. Let's go inside Studio 1. October 18th, Studio 1. I don't really want to be in here. Yeah, it is a murder scene. I want to go someplace else. Nick? I feel like I should keep examining, though. Hey, look, that's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of these. Hey, look, take a look at that. One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone, a real live megaphone. Ready, Nick? Action. This girl is more trouble than I thought. If I examine the equipment again, like... No, the girl didn't come back. Doesn't the Steel Samurai take place in Old Tokyo? Can you even see Mount Fuji from there? Not Old Tokyo, Nick. Neo Old Tokyo. Uh-huh. Anything in that backpack? No, I can't view that. Alright. Well, apparently they don't want us really checking stuff there, so let's examine a little bit more. The studio mascot. Apparently it's a monkey of some kind. I've never seen a monkey with a nose like that before. Already saw that. Okay. Camera. Doesn't seem to be switched on today. Ambushed. Maybe I'll sit down for a bit. This is exactly why I don't want to get old ever. Hey, I'm still young. I'm just tired. Nick, when you start having to say I'm still young, you know it's all over. But I am still young. Poor Nick. Ah! 0 bit rate. Alright. Time to connect again. Bit connect. Wassa 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 wassa. It says welcome. They let people in here when they're not filming, right? Nick, let's come here someday. What do you say? Sure, if that security lady lets us in. Ugh. Man, I can't find anything. Let's go back to the main gate, I guess. Wait a minute. What about the vent? Oh well. What do you think we should do? What do I? Huh? Why don't we do what you just said? We gotta get the scoop on this director and producer. Oh right. Then there's no point of hanging out here. That's what I've been saying. Let's get to the studios pronto. We don't have enough information to make a case yet. This is exactly the same thing you said yesterday. Just admit it. You don't have a clue what happened. There's not enough information. Alright. I think we'll go to the detention center. October 18th. Detention center. Visitors room. Oh, Mr. Wright. Thank you for earlier. Not at all. We got lucky, to tell the truth. You can say that again. Let's not. So WP, do you have any leads that might get us going in the right direction? Sorry, but no. Be sure to tell us anything that comes to mind, no matter how small. We can't rely on getting lucky again tomorrow. Yes. Do her fanboys sneak into the studios often? Not that I know of. The security lady's pretty strict with them. But in today's testimony, she didn't say they were... Didn't she say they were often hanging around? The kids really, really love the Steel Samurai. They sneak past when she's not looking, I guess. Was the director present at this morning run-through? Yes, he was. He was directing how the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate should move. Why didn't you tell us that before? Well, just the studio asked us to keep quiet. That had nothing to do with this. I hate to repeat myself, but Nick here is a newbie lawyer, fresh off the bar. When he loses, he's going to lose big. I see. Whose side is she on? You aren't hiding anything else from us, are you? No, I sure hope not. Well, that's not much help. Guess we gotta go back to the studio. Alright, maybe I missed something at Studio 2. Oh, you know what? Let's go back to the employee area. I haven't gone there yet either. Look, it's that assistant girl. Hey. Hi, WP's lawyers, right? I heard about the trial. Great job, guys. Oh ho, don't mention it. Is it true that they caught the security lady? Oh ho. Actually, she just called me. She told me to cover up that drain. You mean that one? Wow, what a mess. I know. I'm not so good with handiwork. Some assistant, right? Yeah, but you do work on the props and the backdrops, right? Right. Just lots of times they end up looking worse than they did before I fix them. Oh. Well, I'm sure these things happen. Nothing to worry yourself about. You're right, I won't. Personally, I think she should worry. At least a little bit more. If you'll excuse me, I have to go to the guard station. I'm supposed to fill in for Miss Oldbag. Right. See you later, then. Good luck with your investigation. Wait, no. I want to examine... Alright, here we go. So the fanboy they were talking about in the trial today, he came in through that drain. So it seems. Guess they covered it up in a hurry. Hey Nick. If that drain's covered, the boy won't be able to get in. Yeah. I think that was the idea. I kind of feel sorry for him though, don't you? What do you want to rip the grate off? Really, Nick? We can? Whoa, she's serious. Uh-oh. Alright. Well, I guess some things are just made to be broken. Yay. You know, Nick, you're pretty swell sometimes. Sometimes. Hi-ya. There. That should make the kids happy. The things we do. The drain grate is off. And I know who did it. Now the kids will be able to come in again. Doesn't it make you feel great to do a good deed like that? Must be nice to live so free of guilt. There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like a castle. Probably neo-old Tokyo castle. There's a bicycle here. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point? Makes it a lot easier to go up hills. Don't people cycle to get exercise? The remains of the other day's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates minus the steak. Restarting the stream. Okay, now it looks good. Hopefully that'll hold us over for a little bit longer. This is where the Steel Samurai costume was on the day of the murder. That's what Mr. Powers says, at least. I guess they snuck in and took it while he was sleeping. But Nick, what if Mr. Powers hadn't been sleeping? I wonder what the killer was planning on doing then. Huh, she's got a point. There's some regular suits, personal clothes. Mr. Power's bag. I wonder what's inside. Hey, supermarket tabloids? Wow, I'm kind of shocked. Maya, leave those alone. Wolfman found on Mars. I'll have to buy that issue. There's an array of cosmetics here. Nothing. There's nothing here. Where the heck am I gonna go? Oh, hello. Ho ho! You look like a little out of place. It's the clothes, isn't it? I thought my camo vest might do the trick. Kind of an alternative guard fashion thing. So, how are the studios doing? There's police wandering around everywhere. It's terrible. They won't even let me clean up. Don't want me disturbing evidence. I haven't even